What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Let me fix this a little bit. Welcome back to another video. We are going over, and I haven't done this in a while. I haven't done a recap for a game in so long. I mean, this is before the Giants beat Kansas City so long. I haven't even recapped that game. Just because nobody was really watching it. The Giants were starting to lose, and nobody was really watching. So I didn't want to put in my effort in doing this, but I feel like, this is the end of the season. Doesn't matter if anybody watches this or not. I just want to put this out there for you guys. Being that the Giants did have a good end to the season. They went out with a bang. Sure, they only scored 18 points, but their defense played very well. The Giants' defense played extremely well. We'll highlight some players when we get there. The offense played pretty well. Eli didn't really have his going-away party like we thought he would. But this may not be his going-away party. Maybe he's coming back. Hopefully he's coming back. So the Giants do get the W. They finish out 3-13. Good. I didn't want to be 2-14. We already have the most losses in Giants history in one season. That's 13 losses. Previously it was 12. I don't know where that was, when that was, but previously it was 12, and I didn't want to get all the way to 14. So, I mean, either way, we still had the number 2 overall pick in the draft, so that's not going to change. So, might as well just grab this win real quick. It won't change our draft position whatsoever. So, we did get the win 18-10. We'll go over the stats real quick. We'll go over Eli Manning. He was 10 of 28, 132 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Sacked 2 times for 11 yards. Eli Manning did deal with a lot of drops in this game. I'm talking about, oh my God. There was at least, I think the stat showed at the time, there was 7 drops so far from the Giants receivers, and all of them were on the money. And then, there were still like 3 or 4 drops after that. So I want to say that there was about 10 or so drops from the New York Giants receivers. It was ridiculous. Eli could have had a better completion percentage, better yardage, and it would have gone a lot better. Maybe we could have scored a lot of more points, but it is what it is right now. We're talking about the Giants right now, rolling around with Rhett Ellison as their top tight end, who actually played very well. I have nothing bad to say about Rhett Ellison, but come on, it's Rhett Ellison. Hunter Sharp, Travis Rudolph, Marquise Bundy. I mean, who are these guys? We all know Travis Rudolph, but who are these other guys? I mean, come on now. So they're dealing with those kind of guys on the offensive line. John Greco, he was playing and actually playing really good, playing really well, was opening a lot of holes for Orleans Darkwa and Wayne Gallman. The Giants killed it in a running game, and that's something they usually do at the end of the season when they're already out of the playoff hunt, is they run the ball really well. You guys all know back when Rashad Jennings, who I actually really liked Rashad Jennings on the Giants, every time we were out of playoff contention, there was one point, I believe it was his first year as a New York Giant, Rashad Jennings I'm talking about. After we were out of playoff contention, for the last, I believe, 8 weeks of the season or something like that, he led the NFL in rushing through those 8 weeks. He led the NFL in rushing. And we're talking about we're one of the worst rushing teams in the NFL. Why is it towards the end of the season that we play extremely well when we run the ball? I don't understand. But we had a season high, and I believe for the last 5 seasons high, we ran for a staggering total of 260 yards on the ground. Eli Manning didn't help that out. He was 3 carries for -4 yards, so that he didn't help that out. So we take that away. We take Eli Manning away. We ran for 41 carries, 264 yards on the ground. That's insane. Our average 5.9 yards a carry. Great job. Orleans Darkwa on the ground, 20 carries, 154 yards, his career high. How about Orleans Darkwa? Oh my gosh, guys, if we don't get a running back this draft, and maybe we won't, because I don't want to keep drafting running backs in the draft, guys. It's getting annoying, and all these guys are just the same. They put out the same value and stuff like that, so I don't want to keep drafting running backs. If we stay with Orleans Darkwa and Wayne Gallman, I'll actually be very happy with that. If we can fix this offensive line, guys, these two can be one of the best 1-2 punches in the league. And I don't care what kind of fan right now, whether you're Eagles fan watching this, Giants fan, Cowboys fan. I mean, you have to admit these two are a pretty good duo. And I know the Washington Redskins are beat up on the defense right now, but come on, I mean, we dominated. I mean, we completely dominated this game on the ground, dominated the line of scrimmage. We're talking about with Chad Wheeler at left tackle. We're talking about with Brett Jones at center. We're talking about at right tackle, it was Adam Bisnawadi, who was holding call after holding call after holding call, could not guard Ryan Kerrigan, but we were still able to run the ball. And I believe it was John Jalapeno at left guard. Jesus. I mean, the best guy on our offensive line was John Greco, who just got signed with the Giants a couple of months ago, or like 2 months ago or something like that, or a month ago, at right guard. I believe he was at right guard. So, a bunch of shuffling on the offensive line, and we still dominated the trenches. Wayne Gallman, we almost had 200-yard rushers this game, and that would have been insane. I would have loved to see that. Wayne Gallman, 15 carries, 89 yards, 5.9 yards a carry. By the way, Orleans Darkwa had a career-high 7.7 yards per carry. Also had a 75-yard touchdown this game. And it's not like he had a 75-yard touchdown and he slowed down from there. After he had that, I mean, he was still cranking out first downs. 5 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards, 10 yards, 14 yards, something like that. I mean, he kept cranking it out. So, great job by Orleans Darkwa. Shane Vereen, I mean, like I said, Shane Vereen just needs to find his way out of here. Shane Vereen's a good player, but I don't think we have a need for him. We have plenty of running backs that can catch the ball out the backfield. That's pretty much what Shane Vereen is always good for. So, and then Paul Perkins got some playing time. He didn't do much. 3 carries, 7 yards. I mean, it is what it is. It's Paul Perkins, so we're probably going to get rid of him next year. Hopefully, we can trade for him if a team wants him. But I still think he has potential. I just don't think he's a starting running back like the Giants try to make him be. I don't think he's a starting running back. Moving on. By the way, I'm not going to get too far into the game, rather. I'm just going to talk about, going into next season, sort of. So I'm not going to talk too much about the game. So I'm not really going to highlight the Washington Redskins unless it's like talking about the Giants and regarding the Giants. So as far as the receiving game, Rhett Ellison, 5 receptions, 63 yards on 6 targets. I mean, Rhett Ellison played as well as you would want him to play. Had a fantastic day and also had a good job at run after the catch, which is something that he's not really known for doing because he's a slower tight end. But, I mean, he played very well. Hunter Sharp, this guy was just signed on to the roster. And, he had plenty of drops today, had 3 drops today, but did catch himself a touchdown, so good for him. Travis Rudolph got a quick bubble screen, and that's all we saw from him. 30 yards, though, 29 yards to be exact. It was a great bubble screen, but that was all we saw from him. Had four targets, but couldn't get anything after that. Paul Perkins had 11 yards, and that's pretty much it. That was their whole passing game right there. Rhett Ellison, Hunter Sharp, Travis Rudolph, and Paul Perkins. So that's pretty much it. We move on to... And Wayne Gallman, he fumbled again. I believe that makes 4 fumbles on the year from the rookie running back. I mean, we have to figure out a way. The running backs coach, Craig Johnson, I believe his name is, has to figure out a way to... high and tight for Wayne Gallman, high and tight, because this guy fumbles a little too much for this season. I believe he's lost 2 out of the 4 so far. He's lost 1 out of the 4 so far. So he needs to be careful. He's gotten away with a couple fumbles, and that may not turn out to be the same next year. So we move on to the defense. Defense played extremely well. Andrew Adams was phenomenal. I think he actually won himself the starting job going into next season, the starting job at safety. He started a couple games. They were, Steve Spagnuolo was rotating between Darian Thompson and Andrew Adams. But I just think Darian Thompson has just a very slow reaction time to things. On top of that, he's not very good in the box or stopping the run, covering the flats. I just think Darian Thompson is just strictly a ball hawk type safety, which is what you want. You want that type of safety as your free safety. But then again, he doesn't have lateral quickness as a ball hawk safety. The thing is that he's a very smart guy. He's a very smart football player. but his speed doesn't allow him to do what he wants to do. He ran a 4.7 in the draft, and that's something a lot of critics, a lot of scouts were saying, they didn't want him for that because he is a free safety. He's a cover one type safety, very smart at reading offenses, but just does not have the lateral quickness to move, across the field and make plays. So, and on top of that, he's not much of a big corner. Andrew Adams, and when I was scouting Andrew Adams, I said from the beginning, Andrew Adams can make this roster back when he was an undrafted free agent, that he's a strong safety with some quickness. He's a ball hawk at strong safety as well. And, you can put him anywhere. You can have him out deep down the field. You can have him in the box, make him cover in the flats. Certain stuff he cannot do. Like, I don't think he could cover the slot very well. I think he's tried it a couple of times, and it has not worked out in his favor. But I think he covers very well in the flats. So, and he definitely showed that there. He was first at strong safety, made the move to free safety. So, great job by Andrew Adams. He led the team in tackles, 7 tackles, all of them solo, and 1 tackle for loss, and 1 pass defense, and 1 quarterback hit. Now, the 2 players that I need to mention who played phenomenal, and I just completely beat expectations. I want to start off first with Ross Cockrell. Ross Cockrell had himself a lockdown day today, guys. I mean, Kirk Cousins was testing him all over the place. Throwing deep to Josh Doctson. Josh Doctson was known in college for jump balls, and he's done it a couple times in the NFL, and, he could do it again against our secondary, and Ross Cockrell was not having it. Knocked down the pass, was there for a lot of third downs. They tested Ross Cockrell, was able to tight man coverage and knock the ball away, was able to get away with just enough contact to not lure a holding penalty or pass interference. I mean, Ross Cockrell was playing great, got himself an interception. His stats go like this. He had 2 tackles, both of them solo, and I'm not going to expect a lot of tackles from somebody that's playing shut down. You're going to see a lot of tackles from corners that are not shutting down their receivers and having to tackle them. So the fact that he has 2 tackles is completely fine with me, because the fact that he had 4 pass defense, guys, 4 pass defense. That's not even including the interception he had, okay? So he had an interception as well and a tackle for loss. So Ross Cockrell absolutely played lights out today, and I think this was a great trade that we made. I know Jerry Reese made that was a very safe trade, because, Ross Cockrell was not much, and we didn't give out much for him. Gave away like a conditional 6th-round pick or something like that. So for Ross Cockrell, he finished out the year with 3 interceptions. I mean, sure, none of them really mattered, but besides in this game, because we won the game, but none of them really mattered, for a playoff push or whatever. But he's a nice cornerback we could use as a number 3 or number 4, or if one of our main guys gets hurt, go throw him out on the outside. I like Ross Cockrell. I think he should stay next year as just another backup cornerback, and I like that. He's a good security blanket for the cornerback core for the New York Giants. So, moving on. Kelvin Shepherd, who had himself a pretty decent day, to say the least. 6 tackles, 5 of them solo. And also was it 6 tackles, 5 of them solo, or am I reading something different? Yeah, 6 tackles, 5 of them solo. 1 tackle for loss. 2 pass defense. And 2 interceptions, and both of them were great reads on the ball. Had to undercut the ball, made a great read. I mean, he's not known as a pass coverage middle linebacker. He's more known as a run stuffing middle linebacker. But this guy played great in coverage today, and just did a fantastic job. So great job to Kelvin Shepherd. So as far as my awards go, you guys know I bring out the awards. The offensive player of the game, defensive player of the game, at least you tried award, which goes to the losing team, and the Terrence Mitchell award. And I haven't even seen much of Terrence Mitchell, the cornerback from the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a long story if you guys don't know about that award. If you guys do know what I'm talking about, go ahead and leave that in the comment section below. Just anybody that's been watching my videos for quite a while knows how I feel about Terrence Mitchell. So, Moving on. So, offensive player of the game. I'm going to give that to Orleans Darkwa. Could go both ways to Wayne Gallman or Orleans Darkwa. But Orleans Darkwa had that 75-yard touchdown, and that's just a deal breaker for me. So, had himself a great day. Orleans Darkwa gets the offensive player of the game. Moving on, defensive player of the game. I'm going to split that between Ross Cockrell and Kelvin Sheppard. Ross Cockrell was there, in the backfield, in the secondary, and Kelvin Sheppard was able to solidify that second level and make sure nobody, gets past the second level, and did a great job in doing that. Also, to highlight the sack leaders, Olivier Vernon had 1.5 sacks. Jason Pierre-Paul with a half sack. And Devon Kennard had himself a great day as well. Had a nice sack on third down. Was able to force a punt after that. So great job by Devon Kennard, our strong side linebacker. The At Least You Tried award, as you guys know, goes to the losing team. At Least You Try award. Let's see who played well on the Washington Redskins. It certainly wasn't Kirk Cousins, that's for sure. I'm going to have to give that to Capri Bibbs. And I believe this guy was on the Broncos, unless that's a different Bibbs. I believe this guy was on the Broncos. Don't know when he found his way to the Washington Redskins, but it is what it is. But I'm going to give it to Capri Bibbs, who led the Redskins in rushing and led the Redskins in receiving. So 12 carries, 47 yards for Capri Bibbs, rushing the ball. And then 8 receptions, 53 yards for Capri Bibbs, receiving the ball. So great job by Capri Bibbs. And the Terrence Mitchell Award, if you guys don't know what that means, that's just the player that's just having a bad day. And it's the award you don't want to be rewarded of. So Kirk Cousins is going to get that Terrence Mitchell Award. He did not have a great day. He got intercepted by Ross Cockrell. Okay, Ross Cockrell, who is starting the game and came into this in this season as our 4th cornerback. He was starting this game and got intercepted by him. And then Kelvin Sheppard, who we just signed onto, he was sitting on his couch a couple months ago. The Giants had to sign him again. He gets 2 interceptions on Kirk Cousins. So Kirk Cousins did not have himself a great day. Had 17 incompletions, 20 out of 37, 158 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 picks, and was sacked 3 times. So, great job by the Giants. Way to finish out the year. 3-13. Got the second overall pick in this draft. And yeah, let me know what you guys did in the comment section below. I'm gonna come out with a lot more videos. I'm gonna start with my my season recaps for every NFL team. I'm hoping to do every NFL team, guys. You guys know I did like 6 teams last year, and I just stopped it because nobody was watching. But I may just get the ambition to crank all those things out. So even if you're not fans of those teams, you guys get a good outlook of how those teams played by moi. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.